Okay. My screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now from like till now we have basically just in agentic we have seen tools, okay, how to integrate those tools, okay. We have seen node edges, okay, is and conditional edges, how to create a graph and little bit of as a check pointer, that is a memory, okay, and MCP, okay. Now in the upcoming classes in the upcoming classes we will start with basically integrating all those things what we have learned and start implementing in cloud, okay. So uh, I will request everyone to create free AWS account, okay. So now in the upcoming classes we will mainly try to let's say you have to create AWS account, and there we will use all the resources related to Gen AI from AWS only. So in AWS there is a AWS Bedrock, okay. So that is mainly for um, so in AWS Bedrock we will have a LLM model, vector DB, okay. So mainly these two things are required, and also apart from this we will see S3 bucket. So S3 bucket is like memory, means you can save data in S3. It can be image or anything, okay. So we will try to see we will try to use this thing in our code, and we will also create some application and we will deploy it in AWS, okay. So once you deploy it in AWS, then we can basically access through, you can create some link or which other people can also access, okay. So we will see how to deploy any Gen AI application in AWS. So before that, we will require a account. So AWS, you can create a free account. Okay. Uh, so just if you go to just search AWS free tier. Okay. Get free tier account. So if you see in new customer get up to $200 in credit, okay, and that include different services of AWS. So mainly we will use S3, EC2, Lambda, and Bedrock, okay. Maybe little bit of SageMaker as well, but that will incur some cost. So we'll see. So mainly we'll see what are these things. Okay, so these are very famous modules like EC2, S3, RDS, DynamoDB. Okay, then Agentic Core, Bedrock, SageMaker, Bedrock, Lambda. So mainly Lambda is for API, means deployment purpose. We use Lambda. Bedrock is where most of the LLM models are there. SageMaker is for let's say if you are using some open source model, There we generally use a SageMaker. Okay, and EC2 is nothing. Let's say you are buying some virtual machine and you are paying based on number of hours you are using that thing. Okay, so there are different machines available. So EC2 is a place where different machines you can basically buy. Okay, then S3 is a place where you can store the let's say if you want to store some images file. uh, so it is like a storage similar to Google Drive sort of thing, you can assume. Okay, RDS is a just database, like it will provide MySQL, PostgreSQL, different. It is mainly a database. Okay, and DynamoDB is a NoSQL database. Okay, so RDS is just a structured database, and DynamoDB is a unstructured database. Okay, this we will not see Amazon Bedrock Agent Core. Uh, this is means we are using a lang graph, so we'll not use this. Uh, okay, so mainly we will use a most of the time we will use a Bedrock. Okay, so just to create a free tier account. Okay, and simply it will require credit card. So just uh, put your email address here, then verify. Okay, um, it take time to create a AWS account. So create a AWS account, because uh, let's say if you want to move to Gen AI, means you want to switch your career to Gen AI, it is many companies ask whether do you have some cloud experience or not. Okay, and um, this is one thing. Apart from that also, if you know one of the cloud platform like AWS, most of the company use AWS, but um, let's say if you know one of the cloud, there are different other cloud platform like GCP, which is owned by Google Cloud Platform, then Azure, which is owned by Microsoft. Okay, the there are lots of similarity. If you know one of the cloud platform, then you can easily learn other cloud platform. Okay, and no company will ask whether have you work on. If you you can tell, okay, I have work on AWS if you have some experience on working with one of the cloud platform. Okay, so better to learn one of the cloud platform. Okay, it is similar like, let's say, LangGraph is one of the agentic framework. Okay, there are many other agentic framework, but the core concept is same for, and there will be some minor variation, but core concept will be same. So similar to that, cloud platform is almost same. There are some minor variation, uh, which you can, means it is not necessary or required to know all the three uh, different cloud platform. They are, apart from GCP, Azure, and AWS, there are other cloud platform as well, but 95% market they have captured in terms of cloud platform. Okay, so it will be better to know one of the cloud platform. Okay, so I just want to show you. In my case, I have already have account. Okay, so if you see Amazon Bedrock Marketplace, there are other thing. Okay, SageMaker AI, and you can simply search. I just want to show you what Bedrock is. Okay, so if you click Bedrock, okay, once you create the account, there are model catalog. So model catalog is, it is like a catalog for model. Okay, what are the model available in AWS? Okay, it is similar to, let's say if you are going to um, some shop where they before showing anything, they will show some book. It is like or catalog where all the product descriptions are there. So similar to that, there are different means model catalog, and this model catalog is nothing but LLM. Okay, so if you see, there are different models that AWS provide. So the number of models that AWS provide is almost 220. Okay, so if you see here, Claude, different Claude model is there, Llama is there, Nova is there, Mistral. Okay, and there are many, like Google also. Google model is also available. Gamma 3. Okay, uh, then if you see more, like OpenAI GPT OSS, these are also free open source model. Okay, then NVIDIA also hosted some of the model. Okay, um, then this there are thinking model like Kimi K2. Okay, reasoning model is there. Uh, Minimax is there. Okay, so these are the models that are available in the AWS Bedrock, and this you can access similar to um, how we access OpenAI and other model. This also you can access in a similar manner with the help of LangChain. Okay, here also it will require API keys. Okay, so yeah, and some audio model is also available, audio embedding model. Okay, so this is about a model catalog. Okay, we'll see in more detail when we'll just today. I just want to give overview of that. So if you see the left side, so first is a overview. Okay, model catalog. Second is a model catalogs. Then API key. You can generate API key. Okay, here key generate short term, long term. Okay, then there is a playground. Okay, so playground is nothing but where you can select a model, and if you want to, let's say, you want to test some model, just um, here you can write system prompt and let's say, okay, hmm, AI assistant. Okay, and here, um, what is done first? Dog. So it will, here you can just play with the model. Okay, means let's say if you want to ask some question and you want to see how it responds before, let's say, before using the model into the code, you just want to see how it give the output. So this is a just a playground. Okay, so playground is text playground, so where you can play with the text. Okay, so now there is a tokenizer. You can run inference with a form. Okay, that we'll see later. Cross region inference, batch inference, provision through output. So that also we'll see. Here also you can, the third thing you can see, that is a tune. You can fine tune any model. Then you can build agent flows. That is not of much use for our case. Then if you see the knowledge base, okay, so in knowledge base, it is like a vector DB only. Okay, so here you can basically integrate vector DB. Okay, so here if you see the vector store, so it will help you to create a vector store. Means let's say once you create your embedding, you want to save it somewhere. So this will basically help you to save that thing. Okay, let's say if you want to knowledge base with vector store, so you can give some permission and you can choose the document from where it can pick up the document. So let's say your document is stored in S3, then web crawler. There are different versions, okay, that you can do. Uh, yeah. So this is mainly about Bedrock. Okay. And so it is. It may look difficult, but these are very easy things. It required some means most are the things are we have already done, like how to do embedding, all those things. So uh, here also, if you see in model catalog, there is some embedding model as well. Um, so if you go to embedding, okay, so these are the embedding model which provided by Amazon. Okay, if you see, there are two terms, look, serverless and cross region inference, and there is a one marketplace deployment. So serverless means it is nothing but you don't have to install anything, okay, related to that model. Let's say these are open source model, right? If you, let's say if you are downloading some model from Hugging Face, you need to install something, you need to download those model. So serverless means you don't have to do anything, you directly you can plug and play. Okay, it is like means just type the model name, it will automatically uh, it is means the deployment part will be taken care by AWS. You don't have to pay for deployment. Okay, so here the charges will be based on tokens. Okay, so how the number of token that you generate, if you see the AWS Bedrock pricing, and these are very important thing because many companies use some cloud platform, and AWS is a major uh, cloud provider. Okay, so they want to use AWS. So if you use AWS, then most of the time they use this model only. So there are different LLM model and there are different prices, and the prices is also depend on the region. Okay, you can choose any region, but let's say some company want the data to be secure. Okay, so let's say for example, if I choose any model, for example, let's say Google, okay, or maybe OpenAI. So here, let's say I'm selecting Mumbai. So if the region, if I select Mumbai region, the cost can be different. Okay, and if I choose some different region, for example, Tokyo, the cost will be maybe same or maybe different. For Europe, the cost can be different. Okay, so this region is mainly, or this Mumbai region, it means AWS actually let's say they install different machines, right? So the machine is nothing but, let's say, computers, which there are lots of computer having big RAM and GPU, all those things. So they install in different part of the world. Okay, so let's say if I say Mumbai region, so it means their system is installed in Mumbai region. Okay, in Mumbai. So it is like group of computers which are present in Mumbai, and we are basically, let's say if we are um, using OpenAI, so it means the cost. Let's say this is for Mumbai region. It means we are basic that model is installed in Mumbai, and we are accessing that model through internet. Okay, through some API key, right? So why it is important for many companies, let's say some company, they do not want their data to go outside India. Okay, and that is the major concern for many companies. Okay, um, they want to, let's say if you are working in some bank, okay, or let's say or some secret agency, or let's say government of India, if you are working for some project for government of India, so government of India does not want the data to be go outside India. So they will restrict you to use Mumbai region or India region only. Means if mainly their requirement is you the data cannot go outside India, and how that can go outside India? Through internet, right? If you are calling model, let's say if you are choosing some uh, Tokyo region, so it will basically route your query to Tokyo. Okay, means let's say if you are asking some question, so that question will go to through internet go to Tokyo region. Just a second. Yeah. So that question will go to Tokyo, where the computer centers are of AWS are installed, and from that system, it will basically your query will go to that system, and that system will basically reply, and that reply will again come back to your system through internet. Okay, so that is how the thing happen. So if I talk about banking, so RBI has some guideline. RBI is Reserve Bank of India, so which manage all the Indian bank. Okay, so RBI provide a strict guideline that you cannot send or um, any data outside India. Okay, because that is means Indian uh, customer data, right? And mm, people may misuse those things. So that is very important to choose the Indian region in that scenario. Let's say if you are working for some US client, let's say maybe US does not to uh, want their data to go outside US. So then you can choose which region? The US region. Okay. And in some cases, let's say if you do not care about uh, the data, where it goes, then in that case you can choose the region which provide minimum cost. Okay, so that is how we generally choose a region. In also in many regions, the models are not available. Okay, so let's say some models, if I let's say if I choose A121 labs, so these are some LLM model. But if you see, so these are the reason only where this model are installed. Okay. And if I choose Amazon, so it has means Amazon also have some LLM model. So these are installed in different part of the world. Okay. Mumbai, um, in Asia Pacific, Mumbai is there, Singapore, Sydney, all this place where this model are installed. Okay. So this is how we generally choose the model. Mm, choose the region and model. Okay, so this is super important uh, because when you're creating an application, basically you should have knowledge of why we are choosing this. Right now, in my case, I have chosen Mumbai specific, right? You can choose anything. Let's say Osaka, Singapore. Okay, and this is just I have created for learning purpose. Okay, so yeah, so this is the thing for Bedrock. And okay, so in means upcoming class, try to create a or means if you do not want to create, that is also okay. Then you have to see the things. Uh, but a request is to create one account um, that that will basically help you to have some control on cloud concept and how we can access those things. Because right now, let's say if you learn Gen AI, we have already learned many things, but unless you able to deploy it or use it in some cloud, means it is okay, you have learned something, but are you able to deploy it? That is the main question. So if you know how to deploy it as well, then it will be a big boost in your resume, and it will definitely you will be ahead of from other people. Okay, so and in company people will use cloud, so they know they want you to know the cloud, one of the cloud. Okay, so this is AWS. Similarly, let's say GCP is there. That is a Google Cloud platform. Okay, so all these vertex these are in Google. Okay, console. So this is a uh, Google Cloud Platform, similar to Bedrock. So here also, if you see billing, AI, admin, marketplace, there are different things. Okay, so in AWS we have seen Bedrock for LLM. In here it is a Vertex AI. Okay, okay. So here also you can create some API, and then you can use it through LangChain. Okay, but just to showcase. This is a means using in Google Cloud also you can similar to this. There is a Bedrock. There is a Vertex AI. Okay. In Azure I don't have account, but you can. So this is one Microsoft Azure. Okay. Let's try to sign in. Okay. This also have some account. Yeah. So here also, if you see Azure AI is there. So Azure Cosmo DB is a basically a vector DB sort of thing, and I guess I haven't worked on this Azure AI, but here also there is a Azure native Azure AI cloud service, Azure OpenAI. Okay, so why OpenAI? So in Azure, all the models. Okay, means Azure have Microsoft have collaboration with OpenAI, so they invest something. So they're using the models provided by ChatGPT. Okay, so if you see the Foundry, so it is means almost a vector DB only. Then AI search, it is a retrieval, more services, machine learning. Okay, speech service. So different service they are providing, but this is a Microsoft Azure. Okay, so these are the three major cloud platform. Okay, so in our class we will see mainly the AWS Bedrock or AWS. Okay, and let's if you want to see EC2. Okay, so in EC2 if you launch instance. Okay, so this is like, let's say EC2 is nothing but, let's say if you want to create a um, let's say if you want to buy a machine, but that machine is not in physically present. Let's say you are buying uh, in some virtual form. Okay, so now in this you can which software you want to install in that machine. Okay, so let's say if I choose Linux, Mac OS, Ubuntu, these are the operating system I can choose. Okay, now architecture you can choose ARM or that thing. Okay, um, then storage you can select. Okay, SSD. It is a means similar to what we generally when we buying laptop, how we choose the thing. Similarly, here also we can choose. We can configure the thing. Okay, and in free account you get some basic machine. Okay, means up to 4 GB or 8 GB RAM. So here if you see, this is a T2 dot micro. If you see here, free tier eligible. Okay, so this machine has some CPU, means one virtual CPU, and let's say there are multiple machine you can choose, like let's say large machine 16 GB memory, um, then 2x large 32 GB memory. Okay, you can see, so this memory is nothing but RAM. Okay, if you see 96 GB memory, this is a RAM. 192 GB means that is a RAM. Okay, so you can choose a different machine. Okay, this is just I'm showing is how you can choose EC2. But let's say if you are using Bedrock, you are not buying any machine, you're just using the services. Okay, so that is a service serverless. You don't have to configure all these things in Bedrock. You can just uh, access it through API. Okay, that is already installed system, everything installed in their system. You don't have to do anything. Okay, okay, so yeah, and let's see S3. So here you can generate some bucket. Okay, so in bucket you can basically store some information. Okay, you can upload, let's say if you want to, you can upload file and folder here. So this will basically store the information here. Okay, in the cloud. Then there is a cloud watch log, um, cloud watch log, cloud watch. So CloudWatch will basically, let's say if you are writing some program and you want to log the information. Okay, so in this you can log all those information. Okay, means if you see Gen AI observability, means let's say if you want to uh, log the Gen AI responses, so that also you can log. Many people use for infrastructure monitoring. Okay, what is the load, and to, let's say if you have to debug anything, there also with the help of log information you can debug those things. Okay, yeah, so this is mainly, we will see each one, means let's say mainly we will see what are the things that are required for Gen AI. Okay, so but I will try to give you short description for all of the other thing as well. Okay, like marketplace, Bedrock, EC2, S3, SageMaker as well. Okay, and what are the purposes of those services, that also we'll see. So but before that, try to create a free account. Okay, and $200 is more than enough for this course, and it is free only. So you can just create the account of AWS. Okay, it will require a credit card. Without credit card, um, I don't think you can able to create an account. Okay, yeah. So we will try to, in from next class we will try to create some application. Um, it can be a RAG. So basically, I will try to create a chatbot. Okay, and that chatbot with the help of AWS. Okay, and so chatbot creation is the most complex task in Gen AI. So um, in chatbot, you require different things like memory, vector, RAG application. RAG is also used. then tools, internet search, MCP, all those things come into play when we will create a chatbot. Okay, so one part that is remaining in the previous thing is like agentic RAG and self-corrective RAG. So all this I will cover while creating a application. Okay, um, and also memory. So there are different memory like short-term memory, long-term memory, episodic, and procedural. Okay, or semantic memory. So, but these are concept, not this is more about concept memory. So that also we will try to create while creating a chatbot. Okay, so that will cover almost what we will what till now what we have learned. So we will try to apply all those things along with the cloud in while creating a chatbot. So the data set that you have created, um, so we will try to use those data set and ingest in the cloud, and in the final objective will be to deploy it so that that chatbot can let's say if Yogesh create one chatbot, then I can access those chatbot through internet. Okay, uh, so that is the main objective, to finally we have to deploy it in a good working condition. Okay, once that's get completed, we will also try to see the fine tuning as well in here also, and in Google Colab as well. We'll try to fine tune some open source model. Okay, so mm, once we complete those things, then your syllabus is almost get completed. Okay, there will be some minor things like NLP I will teach, but after all this thing, if anyone further interested, then I will teach machine learning and NLP as well. Okay, but that is not the part of this course. Um, if because this that requires some mathematical concept as well. So yeah, so in that course, I will teach the machine learning as well. Okay, machine learning, deep learning if required. But yeah, so we will try to cover this cloud thing, and so you can assume from now onward we will mainly focus on project. Okay, the best way to learn the concept through project. So we will try to revise all the things that we have learned by doing the project. Yeah, any question?
So actually, what my understanding is like, if we are using cloud, like for example, we will take like if we want to test them, like if we go to LangChain document, there is an like integrations in there. We have cloud like Amazon Bedrock and everything.
Mhm.
So through that we are integrating it, and for this we are creating a .env file where we are using this. We will create an like what my understanding is that we will create an like endpoint keys and everything API keys which are generated in this cloud, like a Bedrock, and we will integrate there, or anything else, like what we have to do anything here like in the cloud, like here in AWS in this playground. See,
So
actually
in
we are creating like you have shown that like in Bedrock, if we give like we are using a model and directly we are just giving the prompt and is giving answer. But as a traditional programming, like we are creating embedding and everything. So if we will create endpoints here, and we will paste them in that .env file, and we go on with our traditional programming method.
so for let's say traditional programming, we will create a .env where all the keys are stored, right? Only keys, not the
Yes,
endpoint.
yes.
Yeah, means that also you can say endpoint as well, but mainly keys we store. And to access those Bedrock services, mainly we use keys to access those Bedrock services. Let's say if you once create your program, okay, so that program will basically that program will be deployed in AWS Lambda. Okay, so there is a Boto 3 library, Boto core. So the program that you have written, let's say in local system, okay, the same program you will write in AWS Lambda, and AWS Lambda final objective will create some endpoint. So endpoint is nothing but, let's say, some URL. By clicking that URL, you can basically, let's say if you created some application, this that will basically uh, generate some responses. That responses can be in JSON format. Okay, so this is like with the help of Lambda, you create some API. So which um, based on user question, it will generate some answer. Okay, so that is the main purpose. And let's say if you want to host that, let's say you are consuming that API and creating some application with which will require website or that thing, then you can host that website as well as in the AWS. But that will be mm, right now it may not be, uh, it may look odd, but once we do all those things, it will you will have a more clarity on that.
Okay, and just like take a class on Claude integration. Like you have said that we use Claude, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, just want to know how to use it and everything.
So for Claude, first you need to pay for it. Means Claude.ai, you have to take subscription of Claude. Otherwise, you cannot use that thing. Okay.
Okay.
So it is not a free thing. Claude is a paid one. Okay.
Yeah, just like OpenAI, like we have
So
OpenAI playground.
let's say if you take, how many of you have taken ChatGPT subscription? Not 399. So similar to that, there is a Anthropic model which provide subscription. Okay, so that subscription is almost uh, 2000 rupees monthly. Okay,
Okay.
so in that subscription you can integrate the Claude code to VS Code as well. Okay, so means let's say
Yeah.
for example you can chat similar to Chat GPT, and also you can integrate that into your code as well, means VS Code as well. Okay, so mm, yeah.
Basically, it's said that like we use it's runs on Linux commands and everything. Claude, basic like
So okay, let me again share my screen. Okay, so hope my screen is visible.
yes, yes.
Okay, so let's, if I clear this thing, okay, and if I write Claude, so there are two things. So one is means if I write Claude, since I have already taken subscription, so it will open. Okay, it is not that I can open it here, I can open anywhere. If I open terminal, okay, normal terminal, and if I write Claude, here also it will get open. Okay, so this is one way. The, let's say if you want to use in VS Code only, so there is a, okay, here also you can use, okay, in similar way. So either you can ask question through terminal, okay, and here you can ask question through here also. So let's say there is a no code is here, means let's say test CP3. Um, let's let me create, I'm giving some task. Okay, let me create a MCP server for um, mm, for let's say rag, okay, rag system, okay, for agentic rag or okay, create a MCP server for mathematical operation, okay, for advanced mathematical operation and mm, store in math advance dot py. Okay, so what it will do, it will start creating that thing. Okay, so it's already started reading the math server. We have math server. Now it is saying I will create a new MCP server. See, allow me to write, just you need to say yes. Okay, so it's created. Okay, so if you want to see the code, just go to the math server. Okay, so these are the things it has created. Okay, uh, it's a, or you can test it with an MCP client by I want you to test. Okay, and run it as well. Yes. Okay, so it already checked whether that is working or not. So, and that checking is done by running those things. Okay, so it can do all those things. So Claude is very powerful. Okay, so it is mainly using Claude uh, model. Okay, so Claude code is using Claude LLM model. So, and there are many things you can do. Here, um, let's say if I go to terminal, okay. So simply let's say if I say slash MCP, okay. So what are the MCP that are installed? Docs LangChain. Okay. So if you go to the LangChain document, LangChain, okay, LangChain. If you just uh, go down, connect these does programmatically. Just click those things and simply what you need to do, Claude MCP add this thing. If you write this information, so basically what does means, let's say if you add this MCP, so if you ask any question, it will use that MCP tool to basically write a code, because many times what happen, there are different version of LangChain. So mainly if you ask ChatGPT or any other program, any other Gen AI tool, it will give some previous version answer. okay, because that is trained on past data. So this MCP will basically help you to give the recent code, okay, or recent version code. So this will basically help to write or get code in that manner. Okay. So yeah, so before that, let's say if you have to take Anthropic, go to Anthropic, try Claude. Okay. So it is a means similar to ChatGPT. You can ask in this as well. Okay. If you have any question, it will generate those questions. And there are many things that you can do. Means that 2000 subscription, if you are working, then I think you should buy. Means anyone who is working. And so let's say if you are using a Claude AI Claude desktops. Okay. So if you see here, settings, go to connectors. Okay. See. So these are nothing but MCP connector only. So you can connect these tools. Okay. Means let's say if you connect, it will basically, let's say if you connect your Gmail, it will read your Gmail message and it can tell what are the information that are there. Similarly, it can read GitHub. Okay, you can add custom connector as well. Okay, there are many things. Means you can create many things. So there are many things that you can do, but this required a means you need to take subscription of that. So let's say Claude subscription price. So this $0, but this doesn't include Claude Code. Okay. For using Claude Code, you have to use this thing, $17 per month. So which including GST, it will come around 2000. Okay. So there are many things that you can do. So you can add MCP tool as well to this. So if you want to use Claude, um, first you need to take subscription of this Claude Pro. Okay. Then next step is to go to Claude Code. So you need to install. For your system, it can be different. For Windows, it will be different. Then you need to install the Claude Code. Then we can start using that thing. Okay. But if you are working, means you can by using 2000 rupees, you can do the things. Let's say if some task take 5 or 1 week, it can do that thing in 10 to 15 minutes or maybe 1 hour maximum. Okay. So, but not just installing, we should also know how to use it properly. So you can use it means if you want to get maximum output, then you need to know what are agentic, RAG, all those things. Okay, because behind the scene, that is only happening. RAG, MCP tools, agentic, all these things. Because of that only, it giving the answer. Okay. Yeah. Huh. Any other question? So if you do not want to pay, so start with anti-gravity first. Okay, anti-gravity is right now free. Okay. In next class, yeah. Okay, I will try to cover anti-gravity in next class. Okay, how to use it. Just download for your machine. For Windows also, AntiGravity is there. Someone saying now that for Windows
Yes,
it was
it's
not
there.
available.
Yeah, Windows it's there, and we have to log in with Gmail our accounts to use that features and
Mhm.
everything.
Mhm. Okay, so what you can do before starting that cloud thing, um, you can just install AntiGravity, because from now onward we will try to write the code with the help of AntiGravity. Okay, because once you see the power of AntiGravity, then you can go for Claude code. Okay, so all these are only a vibe coding. This will basically help you to fasten your work and increase your productivity. Okay, and many people are doing or using it in a hidden way in a company, but in future my expectation is that that will be a, like right now they will ask agentic different concept, right? In future they will ask, are you able to use agentic or cloud code? This will also be they will treat it as a skill instead of just tool. Okay, so uh, then okay, so install anti-gravity. So tomorrow class I will not take, because for me also it will take some time to learn the anti-gravity. So maybe Saturday or Sunday, uh, and that class maybe 1 to 2 hours. Okay, there we will try to cover um, entire anti-gravity thing. Okay, how to use it, what are the different thing, and all the things are free in anti-gravity, so you don't have to pay for it. Right now Google has make free, and in that also there are different models. Let me show you. Just yeah. Even you can use that banana image. How many of you have used Google banana? Anyone?
No, sir, but I have heard that it will create images like
Yeah, so
it's not
here
real
in
in real.
mhm. So let's say if you want to change, you have some photo, and if you want to change your cloth, okay, some, let's say if you are wear normal shirt, and let's say if you want to add some jacket, you just need to write a prompt. It will add the jacket to your photo. Okay. So it has banana integration as well. So if you see the right side, there is a different model that it provide: Gemini 3 Pro, Sonnet 4.5, Thinking, GPT OSS. Okay, so these are the models that it has integrated in this anti-gravity. Okay, so all this anti-gravity cursor and Claude code. Okay, so in anti-gravity they have some coding, means similar to VS Code. It has some UI. So behind the hood, or uh, VS Code is there. Okay, so they all people cursor, this anti-gravity or wind surf, all are built on top of VS Code. Okay, so the background engine is VS Code only. Only they have integrated their agentic AI tools or agentic AI algo in that to basically write a code, all changing the files, anything. Okay. So here also, similar to uh, the cloud code, here you can write a, if you want to ask any question, you can write a question and you can use it. Okay. Yeah. So that we will see in next class. Okay. Yeah. So next class will be on Saturday or Sunday. I will inform early, and just try to create an account on AWS and install anti-gravity. Okay, so we will try to cover those things, because yeah, that is helpful. That will be helpful for writing a code, debug, and to make faster progress. All those things will be super helpful. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then thanks everyone.